So, this Devil May Cry fighting, it's just too much as of late. Everybody is hating on the new Devil May Cry. I am trying to understand why. I really am. I understand that there's super fans of the series out there. I'm like a super fan of, I'm trying to think of the game series. Uncharted, I guess. One of the older series. I don't know. The point is that there are super fans out there. And you're allowed to, of course, enjoy your product. But as a person, I would, this is my mind anyway, I would like to see a series change. I like change. I like evolving. I like different. A lot of people don't. People like the same old shit. Why do you think the same old shit sells so well? So with Devil May Cry, before I even start this whole thing, and I'm sure there's going to be a ton of you purist fans out there, Devil May Cry was one of my favorite series. It still is. Devil May Cry 1, I probably played more than you. That's right. I played that game so many fucking times. I played that game so many times when it came out, when I was 13 or whatever, that I swear to fucking God I was reciting the lines in that game. Every corny line that Dante fucking said, I said. Why? Because, well, it was only good PS2 games at that time, and second, it was an awesome game in terms of gameplay. And Dante himself, despite being a corny loser, was fucking, a badass because he sliced people up with a sword and shot people. Two of the coolest things ever. So, with that, I've always enjoyed Devil May Cry. The new Devil May Cry's hate, it's not registering. It's not registering because, listen, Devil May Cry 1 was a unique and fun experience. It redefined action games, basically, in terms of making it quick and stylish. It did not master it. I'll get to that later. But it did a good job. Devil May Cry 2 was a fucking awful piece of shit. Awful. When I got that for my birthday, oh my God, I was so pissed at how shitty that fucking game. It wasn't just a bad Devil May Cry game. It was a shitty fucking game. It was boring. That is by far the worst thing ever you can want for an action game, is to be boring. This isn't an RPG. This is not a fucking reading book. This is adventure game. This is an action game, and when you're boring, you foul. So Devil May Cry 2 was a no-no. No. Devil May Cry 3 was the rebirth! But you know what Devil May Cry 3 did? To me, wrapped up the series. This is where the series should have ended. Devil May Cry 3. Perfect way to end the series. It told the background of Dante. An annoying motherfucker who would not shut up. But, let's say, it was done. The story was done. It didn't need to go on. Devil May Cry 1 was the middle. Devil May Cry 2 was the end. Despite how fucking shitty that game was. And Devil May Cry 3 was the freaking beginning. There need to be any more Devil May Cry. And if there was, I would love a new character. Devil May Cry 4 comes out. We got a new character. Who is he? Nero. A lot of people don't like Nero. I personally thought he was okay. What I didn't like about Nero, he looks exactly like fucking Dante. Capcom did not want to take a chance. They're like, no. You know how fancy act. They want the Dante. They like the white hair. They like him. They want this fucking Matrix Neo wannabe in the game. They like him. I don't know why you like Dante's looks. I really don't. I'm trying to understand why you like a fucking guy that looks like Dante. But whatever. That's your personal opinion. So they didn't take a chance. They just put Nero, who looks exactly like Dante with shorter hair. That's it. Bam. Devil May Cry 4. Shit story. What did you expect? It's a fucking retarded story because they just fucking threw it together and like, here's Devil May Cry 4. Sell. And it's sold. So there's Devil May Cry 4. Despite the most useless fucking game in the series, in terms of story, it was a pretty good action game, or at least decent. I like Nero's moveset. Dante was not needed. They threw him in there because fans are retarded. Then it was over. Or at least I hoped it would be over, because there's no need for another Devil May Cry. DMC, that's what they're calling it, is the new Devil May Cry. This is what I wanted after 3. There was no need for 4. And if there was 4, and Nero was going to be the main character of the next 3 games, at least make him look different. Have some creativity. That's the problem with gaming anyway, but I'm not even going to get into that. You fucking people just like the same shit constantly. I like Nero! I like Nero to look like Dante. Despite him being a different character, he looks exactly the same. I don't understand. So anyway, this new Devil May Cry character comes out. Don't get me wrong, he doesn't look that cool. He looked like he's been smacked in the face with a billion fucking things when he was first shown. And he didn't look really cool. He looked like a skinny dude who basically, got beat up. Not on crack, not on coke or whatever you fucking people like go outside. You just watch TV shows and assume that the TV shows represent every fucking person who's on crack and coke and all that shit. He looked like he got his ass whooped. People didn't like that. My Dante did not get his ass whooped. He does not get marks. Okay. So, that was the first wrong. Second, it's made by an American company, so all of a sudden, they don't want it. It doesn't have enough Japanese bullshit in it. Okay, so there's more hatred. The combat wasn't even shown in the first trailer. People are already bitching about it. Okay, so you're bitching that the combat won't be 60 frames per second, all that great stuff. Yeah. First of all, Devil May Cry is quick. It is quick. But it relies on being stylish. That's what Devil May Cry is. The fucking meter is stylish. That's what it is. That's what Devil May Cry is. That's what makes it separate from all these other action games. Not the speed, okay? First of all, action fans. I'm a gamer who plays all different games. I'm not one of those fucking gamers who get stuck on one game and it's like, this is my game and nobody else can get near it. No. Devil May Cry relies on stylish. Ninja Gaiden, faster, better countering system, obviously. God of War, obviously, it relies on the brutality. Something that Devil May Cry never had, and Ninja Gaiden slightly had in 2, but didn't do too well. Then you got Darksiders, which is a newcomer. It relies on being a grand-scale adventure game, on top of having pretty brutal combat. And then you have Castlevania, which basically is mixing all the genres into one, and does it relatively well, keeping more of the God of War feeling, but being a bit flashy, so giving a more Dante feel, Devil May Cry. So that's cool, but we're not getting into that. So, the new Devil May Cry is coming out. First trailer shows him doing these stylish moves. It's not Devil May Cry. It's not Devil May Cry, huh? That's strange. This trailer looks slightly like the old one. It kind of looks like every other Devil May Cry trailer. He's doing these fucking flashy moves. That's not what Dante does. Dante does it without even trying. Oh. Well, that's funny. He's smoking while kicking their ass. My Dante doesn't smoke. But if he had a pizza slice in his mouth, it'd be cool. Yeah, it would be cool. It would be Dante. This is a reboot, as in a retelling. Keeping some core functions, but kind of retelling. Kind of like comics do all the time in movies, books. My Dante doesn't do that. He eats pizza, and he makes corny jokes.
Flock off, Featherface, or you can stick around and find out the hard way.
This guy smokes. Right. So, the trailer is basically just him doing these fancy-ass moves, and looks like Devil May Cry. Bitching. Alright. Trailer comes out. Action. My Dante does it so fluently. This guy doesn't. You know it's a cut-up trailer, right? Doesn't matter. Real-time engine can't do this. But you haven't played it yet. It doesn't matter. This is not what Devil May Cry is. Devil May Cry, you go combo. But maybe they're kind of like redoing it, making it a different battle system, something different. You change, I don't want change. I want the same thing. It's erasing my history. Oh, I'm sorry. Devil May Cry 1 to 4 is gone. Yeah, they're replacing it. They're replacing it? That's strange. I have Devil May Cry 3 around my shelf. Actually, I have Devil May Cry 4 as well on my PS3 and Xbox. So how are they replacing it? This is the future of Dante! Yeah, but they kind of finished Dante's story. It's over. This is a new Dante, retelling. I want the old one. The old one's done. I wrote 100 fan fictions of what can happen afterwards, after he goes to hell and fights Sparta. That is my reenactment of my arguments with Devil May Cry fans. Let me make it clear. I'm not a huge fan of the design-wise with Dante, though I think he looks fine now. He looks less beat up, and he looks kind of just like a regular dude with black hair, whooping ass. He does these stylish moves, like Dante. Seems like he doesn't spur jokes that are fucking made by 11-year-olds. And it's a retelling, reboot, hopefully. I really hope it's not a prequel. That would be a stupid idea, in my opinion. I want it to be a whole retelling of the story. I want a whole different take. That's my first thing. Second, it's by a developer who makes excellent stories. And really, really great character development. Something Devil May Cry has fucking lacked since the very first one. When you're talking about Dante is awesome. Really? Trish is so character development. She's so awesome. She has so much character development. You care for her. I thought they kind of just threw her there because she has big tits. No. No, she has a lot of character development. As much as Ryu Hayabusa. Okay. So, hopefully we get a story, concrete here, of Devil May Cry having an actual story. That's what I'm hoping for. Combat-wise, I would love to see a new take on the system. We had Devil May Cry 1 to 4. Something was going wrong with 4. It was Devil May Cry barely upgraded at all, giving us the same shit, when Nero's won a different ability, and many fans hated it. So, what they're doing is trying a whole new thing. But fans don't want to accept it. They rather have the same shit, as always. And that's why a lot of gaming series just repeatedly put out the same fucking shit every year. To end the argument, I'm not a huge fan of Devil May Cry 4. I thought it was a great game for its action. Story-wise, sucked. Characters. I'm not even going to get into it. Anyway, this is Devil May Cry told its story, the original 4. I say the original 3 because 4 did not need to be there. But it's done. It's completed. It's not erased. You're not going to be scared. You're not going to go, oh my god, it's disappeared. This new Dante is trying to be different. Give it a chance. You never know. You're going in thinking you're going to hate it. You're going to hate it. I went in thinking, hey, Bioshock 2. Not a huge fan of Bioshock 1, but let me try it. Loved it. Prince of Persia 2008. I like the trilogy. The direction of the new one looks interesting, but they're changing so much. You can't die. Combat is very different. Hey, you're in a cell shade area compared to the more realistic graphics of the previous story. So what's happening here? They're changing almost everything. New prince, new characters. What's happening? Loved it. I honestly think it's better than the original trilogies. I love the original trilogies. Go in with an open mind. You don't know what you're going to expect. That's all I'm asking. This is a long debate. I'm sure that I'm going to get comments like, you don't know the real Dante. I'm not here to argue with you. I don't like Dante. I understand why he's a likable character, but I hate the motherfucker. But that's not my point. We're going in with a whole new retelling. It could be great. It could be. God, for the sake of a series, let them try. If God of War 4 came out, I don't want Kratos. I want a different guy. Hell, they should fucking reboot that whole series because the mythology in that is all fucked up anyway. So they should retry it. Anyway, before this goes past 15 minutes, my point is that you gotta stop bitching. The trailer is stylish. It has the action. I'm not really seeing why there's so much hate. So let's see what we get in the new one. And that's really the end of the Devil May Cry hate, in my opinion. I'm really done. I'm interested. We'll see what happens. So, Ninja Theory, try your best, and hopefully we get somewhat of a good game. If not, you fucked up. And I'm not even defending you. I'm just hoping that you're going to produce a good game. If you don't, it's going to be sad. I'm going to be disappointed in you, Ninja Theory. The Devil May Cry fans, hop off Dante's dick. Try something new. Get out there. Try action games besides Devil May Cry. There are ones and better. Just telling you. Okay.